Simon, if you really don't want these things to happen to you, pray with me. Yeah, pray. I will pray for you, but at some point that has to be your prayer. That has to be between you and God, because I don't know if I can, that's when we get into maybe our Catholic friends there a little bit, right? Where someone else, I don't know, gets... Yeah. Well, in the old, well, there's a lot of Catholic friends that wouldn't like that either. Yeah, where someone else kind of steps in, yeah. And I think here, yeah. So they would probably have some things to say back to me on that, because... Absolutely, yes. Yeah, we should pray. If someone says, pray for me that I don't sin anymore, I'm praying for them. But at the same time, I would say to Simon, you've got to make that prayer for yourself. I will pray for you. I will stand with you. I will disciple you. But when you sin, you have to be, I can't, you're going to have to be the one to go. That's the only caveat there, absolutely, we can pray for that and pray for that and pray for that. But I think I would say, you need to pray as well. Well, anyway, when they had testified and proclaimed the word of the Lord, Peter and John returned to Jerusalem, preaching the gospel in many Samaritan villages. How is the gospel breaking through? Here's a tough question. It's in my study Bible. What prejudices in your life have you had to deal with? And how is the gospel breaking through those? Ooh. Never question anything about the Gospels. Okay.
Sometimes I think you're misled, on purpose. And I think sometimes God's sitting there saying,
okay. Yeah. God's all. And then prejudice doesn't always have to be about race. It doesn't always have to be about color or anything. There's a lot of different things we can be prejudiced about or biased about. Has the gospel kind of broken through any prejudices that you've had in your life?
Confession time.
I know, this is really hard, isn't it?
It's hard to admit them.
It's hard. Yeah.
I think growing up when we did, the time frame we did, there were a lot of us's and them's. A lot. And I'm not going to go into all of the us's and them's.
Sure.
There's a lot of that. And as I grew older, I began to see that the them was us as well. And through the gospel and through the eyes of Christ, when we look at the us's and the them's, we become we. And so but that's a process. And some people are still, I'm still working on it, but some people are still working on us and them. We see a lot of us and them today.
Yeah, I've picked on, I've had fun with Catholics and Pentecostals. Guess what?
It's a we.
I can pick on because I know many Catholics that are saved. I know many Pentecostals that are saved. Yeah. So I think denominations, we can be that way. Yeah.
To my mind, because I got into it with Brother David, and I never got into it with him except this. And he tried to, I tried to tell him that I had a bad time believing or knowing for sure, is my mom saved? Is she going to heaven? And my sister's
Wow.
saved. And he told me he'd find it in the Bible and give me the right answer. Well, I'm still waiting for that answer.
Maybe we can talk about that, yeah. Just those, whoever calls upon the name of the Lord will be saved. Those who believe, It doesn't have to fit through, it just doesn't say for Baptists only. But I think that's good. That's Yeah, there's,
If that was what everybody that believes in the religion said, no, it's mine.
yeah,
I would say, no, it ain't.
yeah, I don't think there's going to be only Baptists in heaven.
No.
And I don't know many Baptists who do believe that. So, yeah. But that's one thing right there we can think about. Where those are some of the us and thems that I grew up with, even not that long ago. And I'm trying to think.
You know, Pastor Ed, well, I'm not as old as some, and I'm a lot older than others, but when I was a little kid, we firmly believed, and were taught, or at least I think we were taught, maybe I just misunderstood, but if you weren't a Baptist, you were damned to going to hell. And the thing about it was, the Catholic kids, they all thought the same thing too.
Yeah, isn't that something?
They were damned to going to hell.
Isn't that something?
That was going to be an awfully crowded place down there because, you know, if that would have been true, we'd all be down there. None of us would be in
Yeah.
But it's, I think sometimes it's the interpretation and that is put on things and you don't always understand as a child, as a young person, the things you understand or the way you understand things as you get older. But, you know, that was I think very common when I was a kid. If you didn't go to a particular church, particular kind of church, you weren't going to get to heaven. You know, the rest of those people, they didn't know what they were talking about.
Yeah.
Your church was right and the rest of them were wrong. And then, you know, now that as an adult, we know that that's not true. You know,
Yeah.
hopefully the little kids are not, I don't think our church teaches any of our children that you have to be a Baptist in order to get into heaven.
Yeah, we believe in. It won't get us very far. I'll share a prejudice that I have. Are you ready? I've always been prejudiced against people that I don't like very much. Just to kind of, but you know what I mean? Can God reach them? Absolutely. Does God love them?
And he might even use you.
Absolutely. Could God use me to reach them? Absolutely. Yeah, just because I don't like somebody, we do have to get past those things. Yeah, and that, what are the obstacles? But do I really dislike somebody so much that I would withhold the gospel from them?
Hopefully you don't.
How much would you really have to dislike somebody? But, but the day and age we live in, can the gospel be shared with somebody I disagree with? Could the gospel be shared with somebody that doesn't share my political party? Yes. I mean, there's all sorts of sneaky little prejudices that we have and things that we don't like, and and us's and them's. Are there Muslims who are going to be reached for Jesus? Yes. Are there homosexuals that are going to be reached for Jesus? Yes. Those things happen all the time, and I think even in our minds, we don't consciously do it. But, do we just have, the gospel's just for this people over here, and when God is saying, no, I want the gospel to be for everyone, everywhere. And are you expanding in your mind who can be reached with the gospel and who needs to hear the gospel? Because I might use you to do it. And it may be somebody you don't like. And it may be somebody you don't agree with. Or it may be somebody that doesn't dress like you or talk like you or act like you. Or, and that was kind of the boat the Jews were in, And here's this huge spirit breakout, and that's when when you're working with the Spirit, are you willing to go where He's working? Well, I don't want to go if He's working with somebody I don't like. Well, then you're not going to be in the Spirit. You're not going to be following the Spirit, then, are you? Yeah. Wait.
A similar type thing for me. I spent an entire year in Vietnam, Haiti. I mean that.
Oh, I know. That's hard. Yeah.
Now, I guess the worst thing anybody could ever ask me about it. Did I ever kill anybody? Maybe some kid's daddy, some woman's husband.
Yeah, it's tough.
There's no pride in it.
Yeah. I've heard that a lot from people that have been over there, Lanny, and we're not there now. It's but and I don't, in the time of war, it's hard, In time of war, it's different. Yeah, but I think, where's your heart now? Yeah, where's your heart now? And God will use that, and God will bless that, and it's okay. I appreciate that, yeah, because my heart goes out to the guys that I talk to that have come back from places like that, and yeah, it's just something to think about when we go into different, Yeah, so just, God, thank you that the gospel, because here's the thing, if the gospel isn't for the person that I don't like, then guess what? Then it's not for me. And if the gospel's going to be for me, then guess what? It's going to have to be for everybody, because who's the worst sinner? Me or... That's a silly game to play, isn't it? Because we sure do, yeah. Yeah, I'm not as bad as that other person. We're Romans. What's the good old-fashioned Roman road? Romans 3:23. For everybody's sin. And what's Romans 6:23? Sorry. The wages of sin is death. It's all y'all. So no one can say I'm... And I think Paul was so good at that. Paul was like, of all the sinners, I'm the worst. Let's get that out of the way right now. Yeah, that's a good model to follow. And Paul, didn't he say, you talk about us and them? There are no Jews, there are no Gentiles. There is us. So yeah, Paul.
When you do the right thing, you can run into opposition too.
Absolutely.
I came home from college and told Dad I was going to be working with black children in Bible schools this summer. He said, "You're not going," and that
Yeah.
was all he said either. But
Yeah.
I can't repeat what he said. But I was 19, and I just had to say, "Well, I am going." And then he finally accepted it, but he was really against it.
Yeah, all of us are brought up with different kind of values, and
Yeah.
I guess, and the gospel calls us out of all of that, so just something to think about there. And I think, so as we look at why the Holy Spirit was delayed there, who do you think that was more for, the Jews or the Samaritans? Maybe both. But especially for the Jews to see, hey, here's a special emphasis. Peter and John will testify.
Right.
What happened with you is going to happen, worthy of happening, and will happen among them. And you're going to join me there, or you're going to miss it. And so, thank goodness they didn't miss it. And so, we're going to have even more here next week. But we better stop there. A little uncomfortable there, wasn't it? That's okay. That's where kind of what the Holy Spirit does sometimes. But that's true. If it's not for them, then it can't be for me either. I'll let everybody go. So online, there's some things I want to announce, but it's been asked that we not do that on social media. So just keep coming and keep finding out. And for those of you online, I'm hoping I'm keeping up with everybody there. We hope everybody has a great week. Stay cool. If something's happening, let us know, and we'll let you